Welcome to the UFL. I don't know what you dudes thought. One of the best leagues in New York. So let me know if you love the sports. Stephen J. Dawn and Ghost are your hosts of Real Tough Talk. Welcome to the UFL. I don't know what you dudes thought. One of the best leagues in New York. So let me know if you love the sports. Stephen J. Dawn and Ghost are your hosts of Real Tough Talk.
What's going on, people? Welcome back to the hot YouTube show, Real Tough Talk. I'm Stephen J, here with my partner Ghost, and we're here to give you the great time of the year, playoff time.
And we hit the floor running. We finally get some good weather after last week.
Right.
You know, it's exciting because a lot of these teams have a lot to prove this year. There's a lot of teams that's starting their mission to go to the championship in these very games. So it's going to be exciting to see who comes out on top and who moves forward.
And this is what you played for. This is why you was here all season. This is why you played in the snow. This is why you had those injuries and played through them. This is why you missed times with the kids here and there. This is why you left the house with wifey mad at you. It's to get to this opportunity to start driving to 161. That's what you're here for.
Yes.
So this is why you pay your money. This is why you're here for. And now it's very, 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 very much money time.
That's enough varies.
Very, 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 very much money time.
Well, money time's the word. This is the reason why you put up your money, to win that money back in at the end of the day. So right now, Carver's been the familiar party of winning that money every year, at least for the last 3 years. But there's a lot of teams looking to upset them and dethrone them. So it'll be exciting to see who comes out as a team to face. As a team to face, if they make it again, who will be the ones to face them as this year?
And we're gonna jump right into the first game. We want to talk about Browns versus Street Fam. Now, last time these two played, Street Fam was able to beat the Browns.
Yes.
Street Fam, it says that they're not scared of the Browns. Jingle said maybe that was his best opportunity. You know, he figured that he has a team that's able to play a wild card game and then play the top seed next round. So he's not worried about going this road. Of course, he would like to only play one game, but he don't mind going this road, especially against Street Fam, a team that he lost to, but he didn't have all his soldiers to play against.
And Street Fam has a lot to prove. They're trying to show that they're a team to take seriously, regardless of what. The Browns is their first hump to get past, and then they're going to face Rep City. There's another team that they're looking to face. They tied with them at the last game of the season. So I'm looking at them taking this game seriously. With the Browns, they already beat them before, and it's showing that when they beat them in the season, that it wasn't a fluke and that it was their gameplay that got them the win.
And we're going to jump right into the game. After getting the first down, Lonnie on 4 rush runs for a decent game. Second down, Lonnie on 4 rush is sacked by Malo. Last down, Lonnie throws it up to receive an end zone. Incomplete, turnover on downs, giving it to Street Fam. Now, that's not a good way to start your drive. I think the sack by Malo was really huge. I think it kind of stuck the opportunity for them to move the ball, and I think that's what caused the turnover.
Well, any sack in the middle of a drive can stunt that drive when it's while it's moving. So that sack on that down there is what threw them off, and obviously Lonnie had to make bigger chunks, take bigger risks. And of course, because he had to take bigger risks, it lessens your chances of succeeding.
Correct.
He goes for that pass downfield, and it doesn't work out for him, and it leads to turnover.
After 2 short passes on 3rd down on 4 rush, Spaz fakes heck and runs for a short gain. Street Fam, with 2 drops passes in a row, they have to punt. This team has struggled with drops all season long. They cannot hold on to the football, and it gets Spaz frustrated. It makes him attempt to do too much, and this is another stop drive based on drops.
And because of that, like you just said, it leaves it up to Spaz to try to do something risky, and he has to do more. More is on his plate when guys are not catching passes, and that's exactly what's happening, and it kills them later on.
After 3 plays, Lonnie on 4th down throws the receiver in the gap, short, incomplete. Turnover on downs. They couldn't even get the first down. Great stop by Street Fam, but I think it's more inability to move the ball by the Browns. Street Fam gets the ball back. 3rd down, Spaz throws a Prodigy in the middle for a nice gain. At the 3-yard line, Spaz finds Prodigy in front of the end zone for the touchdown. 6-0, Street Fam takes the lead.
And they finally get it right in this drive. That big pass to Prodigy is one of the main parts of the drive. And because of that, it gave them the position to score. That is
Yep.
a great way to connect with your receiver, and finally somebody's catching the ball. And as you see, when you catch the pass, you end up scoring eventually.
Lonnie gets the ball back. He throws to Trav on the sideline for a nice game, picking up the first down. Browns struggle to move the ball any further. They have to punt. That is 3 straight drives. They got the ball, and they cannot put up any points. And you can't think that you're going to move on to the next round past this wild card game if you can't score points.
That's the issue right here. They've been struggling to score since the beginning of the season. They've had issues. They have quarterback issues and everything in that. But Londy's here. But it didn't really change their issues that much because they still struggle to score. A lot of guys dropping passes with them as well. And these two teams right here facing each other are two of the teams that are known for dropping passes. So with Londy taking risks, he ends up throwing interceptions. This is a bad formula that you have in this game, and it's not looking good for them right now.
Street Fam gets the ball back. They're forced to punt right after. Browns get the ball back. They struggle to move the ball. They have to punt. We're going into halftime, 6-0 Street Fam. If I'm Street Fam, listen, I know that this is not the same Browns I went to play Carver 2 years in a row. This is a different Browns team. I can beat this Browns team because I beat that Browns team before when they had all those soldiers. I beat them. If you remember, Street Fam beat that team in the regular season prior to this season.
Yes.
So if I'm Street Fam, I'm confident. I'm not scared of this team. I know I can beat them. Let's go in the second half and put more points up.
And the Browns have to be worried right now because they're not getting anything going on offense. Even though they kept Street Fam to 6 points, I don't think that that's enough for them. They have to put up points. One thing they got to do is find a way to protect Lonnie because Lonnie does not look comfortable out there. If he's not comfortable, that's when the picks start flowing in when he's taking risks. So you got to protect him. I think that is the key. If they're able to do that in the second half, I think that they'll look much better moving forward.
Second half, Spaz with a screen pass to Shaw, who runs for a decent gain. After getting the first down, Spaz on 4 rushes sacked by Aha. Last down, Spaz throws short to Shaw, who gets stopped short of the end zone, turnover on downs, giving the ball back to the Browns. That's a great stop by the Browns. Now it's time for the offense to get involved and put up some points. After 2 short passes, Lonnie throws deep to Trevor on the sideline for a big gain, picking up the first down. Lonnie then gets blitzed by Izzy, throws a nut in the gap, is dropped, picked off by Prodigy, who runs it all the way down the field for the touchdown. Trev gets the interception on extra point, but right now it's 12-0 Street Fam.
And this one you can't blame it on Lonnie at all. A lot of these times, one thing I could say is Lonnie is one quarterback that throws pick sixes more than any other quarterback. He leads the league, yeah. He leads the league, and the thing about it is a lot of it is not his fault. This is a clear drop by Nut. If he catches pass, the driver's still going, and they would Street Fam wouldn't have any 6 points right now, so they wouldn't score right now. So at the end of the day, you gotta catch a pass, you gotta help your quarterback, and because of this is what's killing them. That if this keeps up, I see them going home.
That's true, but most of the time, Lonnie pick sixes are thrown. It's when he's blitzed, and if you see here, he's blitzed by Izzy. I don't think Nut expected the ball there. He still got to catch that ball, but he wasn't prepared for it.
Okay,
and that's still a pick six.
No,
and I'm not saying I'm not saying that it's Lonnie's fault.
No,
I'm
that's
just
not
saying,
what I'm saying.
Coincidentally, that's what happened.
At the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you're prepared for the pass or not. You are a receiver. He is a veteran receiver. Some would argue that he is a Hall of Fame type receiver.
Right.
You know, he's been in the game for a long time. So it doesn't matter how old you are. You should have the experience to know that when the ball is coming, you got to catch it.
You are what you are. We've seen Nut drop passes like this in the past. He dropped a big pass against Carver in the championship game. We've seen him do that in games in this league. I've seen him do it in the BQFL. He has dropped big passes at crucial times. He's definitely a Hall of Fame receiver, but he's dropped passes. This is the issue why you can't put him up there with Hall of Fame receivers like West from Carver, whatever like that. Top older guys like that. He has the pedigree for it, but he's made crucial drops, and this is a crucial drive-killing drop. And it coincidentally happened when Lonnie was throwing him the ball.
Yeah.
After getting the first down, Lonnie throws to the receiver in the gap. The Browns is flagged for cursing, moves him further out. Browns are out of scoring range, and they end up turning over the ball, giving it back to Street Fam. They don't even look like they want to play. They look like they're done. They look like that pick kind of took everything they had left inside of them, and it kind of ended them, and I think it's going to end their season.
But the thing about it is the game is only 12. They only have 12. It's only 12-0. So the game is not over yet. They score real quick and they're right back in the game. Why end your game right now if you end the game here, it's their fault and not because they couldn't win this game. I think you put it on them if they end up finishing the game the way they are now.
After downing the ball 3 times, they go for the punt. But Izzy, if you listen here, he doesn't get the ball up before the 4 rush and it's turnover on down. You cannot overthink this. Everybody knows in the UFL you got to get off the ball by 4. And if you listen here, it's clear he still had the ball in his hand by 4 rush, and that kills him, giving the ball back to the Browns. Lonnie with 2 quick passes for a nice gain. Then Lonnie finds Trevor in the end zone for the touchdown. Malo gets the sack on the extra point, but it's 12-6 Browns, and they got to get the extra point now. They got to get the onside.
But if you look at this drive, this is the type of football, this is the type of offense that they needed to play all game. Lonnie was not pressured. He was able to get the ball off quick. He was able to connect his receivers, and they caught the ball. All of these things factor in on how you score quickly.
I don't agree with you.
What? So what's the
I
difference?
think that Street Fam didn't worry about this drive because they knew at the end of the day the Browns still needed to get the ball back on the onside.
Yes, but the thing
so
about
I don't think
it is,
they played the same
again,
defense. I think Lonnie rushed it, but I don't think that would have worked in the beginning of the game.
But listen, what I'm
they
saying.
still got to get the extra onside, and Street Fam knows that.
But 2 things that they did, they were able to connect together. Lonnie was able to be accurate with the pass, and they were able to catch the ball. 2 things that they were not able to do all game. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the rushing and anything like that. I'm talking about the connection that they made, and they were able to catch the ball. Because they haven't been doing that, that's why they're losing 12-6. They would be tied up right now if that didn't happen, at least. So when they play that way, I think that they have more of a chance. And if, let's just say Street Fam did not take this drive seriously, then they put the Browns in position to have opportunity to get the ball and take the game from them.
Well, if you look here, the Browns try to go for the onside, but the throw is too far. Street Fam gets the ball, ending the game 12-6. Street Fam moves on to the next round to play. They win the wild card game and ends up playing Rep City the next game, and Browns out.
And you saw this happening, from the beginning. I pretty much did, because they were not a solid team from the get-go. In the beginning, they didn't have a quarterback, but then they had Lonnie, and they seemed shaky throughout all of their games because Lonnie was not being protected, and a lot of guys were dropping passes. And those 2 things are factored in on why they were losing games that I believe that they shouldn't. They have a talented defense, but their defense were not able to keep Street Fam from scoring in this game, and I think it's because of the offense's lack of play that it hurts the defense and puts more on them. And at the end of the day, what defense can last so much? What defense can last a full game without the offense playing?
Well, I'm going to give Street Fam props for beating this Browns team. But they only actually scored 6 points. Nice that Prodigy picked off that ball, ran it back for a touchdown. You got to score more points if you want to survive in this league, especially with playing Rep City next game. That being said, now with the Browns, they're going to R&R. R&R, for y'all guys that don't know, is rest and relaxation coming from the season.
This is their off-season.
What they need to do in the off-season.
Yes.
And if I'm them, what I think, they need to find a time machine and go find the old Browns team. Because this is not the same Browns team. And they need to go, and you see here, they find in the Back to the Future car. They need that. They need Stewie's time machine from Family Guy. Any type of time machine that time travels, they need that. Because let me explain to you about the Browns team. They scored 79 points this year. That was the lowest in the East Division 1. They scored the lowest amount of points in the East Division 1 division. And they gave up 101 points. That is the second highest in the division. You know who gave up more points than them? Riot Squad. So this team needs to go and find a time machine to get the old Browns back. Maybe you could find Reggie out there. Maybe you could bring back Puka, Wheezy, Breezy. They need those guys because this is clearly not the same Browns team that went to back-to-back championships.
And I think that the 2 main guys that they miss is Reggie and Puka. Puka being in the game makes all the difference for their team. When Puka's there, yes, Trev is a great player on both
he's not
ways,
Puka.
But he's not Puka. And when you have both guys on the field, they can pretty much contend against anybody. That's my opinion, and I've seen it happen. because they didn't have this guy there as the other as a person on the other side of the defense, or the other person being a main target for either Londy or Reggie, regardless of who it is, this team is not the same. And I believe if they can find a way to get Puka back, I think that's just one step in the right direction. Because right now, with the team that they have, I don't think it's enough, and it showed in how they ended the season.
They need a time machine. I would go back with them. Maybe I could find my hairline. You know what I mean?
I don't remember what year he lost that.
Maybe we could find Ghost Razor, because we've seen him clean before, and now he's back to the old Ghost.
Listen.
So that's what this team needs. So they are definitely need to find a time machine. There's a few, like I said, you got the Back to the Future car, you got Stewie's time machine, whatever time machines you know. What else? Didn't they have a time machine in Bill and Ted?
Yes, the old school thing.
Yeah, people probably don't know.
There's also Doctor Who goes through time.
There's a lot of choices you can find.
Yes. So
they need to find the old Browns, because this is not the regular Browns, and I think they're embarrassing their name the way they played this year. Jingo needs to go out, get more talent, and he needs to decide if Londy is their quarterback. Londy threw 11 touchdowns, but he gave up 11 interceptions, and he got sacked 8 times. And the reason his sacks wasn't more is because he threw them as interceptions.
Yeah.
Gooney is not a good blocker. We seen him cost him also at the end of the game. He was cursing. He got a flag. He was frustrated. Gooney didn't block well this year. He's not the key. They need to go get a blocker. Los was a better blocker than Gooney when Los played with the Browns. So they need another block. And then they missed Pop.
Yes, and I said that's another person they could go into a time machine to get. Yes, I think that is convenient for them. That's something that they need to utilize at the highest level, because maybe then you will see the old Browns emerge and have a chance again.
All right, we're going to wrap this up. Browns are out. Street Fam moves to the next round. They play Rep City. Street Fam with the win over the Browns, 12-6. We're going to be right back. Real Tough Talk. We're back. Real Tough Talk. Stephen J. Ghost. As you can see, really killing this members Mark Water. And now we're going to jump back to Street Fam, who had just came from beating the Browns in a wild card game. Mm-hmm. And now they play the number 1 seed, Rep City.
Yeah.
But the good thing about that is they tied with Rep City the last week of the season. So they Street Fam kind of knows them. So they're not worried about playing them.
But one thing that I worry about with them walking into this game is this team, regardless if they played great or not, this team has been battered and beaten all season.
Mm-hmm.
They had a lot of injuries, a lot of guys playing with injuries. Spaz has the injured foot.
Spaz was hurt.
Yes, Spaz.
Trey had a bad ankle.
Yes, Shaw has been on and off.
Preacher got hurt.
Yes, so these guys have been beaten up all season. Guys playing with injuries. So not to say that that's an excuse, but obviously that's always a factor in how you play. And playing 2 games in a row, it's not going to be something that's going to be very easy for them, knowing that they're playing with injuries like this. So that's the main thing that I'm worried about. It's hard to see them playing at the same level of intensity as they did the first game, playing the number 1 seed in the second.
Well, we're going to jump right into the game, and we'll go over it. Street Fam gets the ball first. Spaz on 4 rush is sacked by Henry. Street Fam is going to have to punt. Izzy with 2 short passes for a decent game, but then they get the first down by mistake. They didn't mean to get it, but they pass it for the first down. First down on 4 rush. Izzy throws deep to Victor. Victor with a great catch at the 3-yard line, but if you look here, Street Fam challenged the play that Marlo with the sack. Now we're gonna go to the challenge flag, and the question is, what do you see on it?
And what I see here is Marlo getting there and making the sack before Izzy gets the throw off. So that is an impressive play there. We get to see it in the camera. All the refs look at it. It's a clear shot of Marlo getting in and making the sack before the ball is thrown. And the play is overturned, and it's called a sack, not a big play at the 3-yard line.
That is a great challenge by Spaz.
And Rep City has to admit that too, because they tried to beat them.
Yeah, they tried to rush to the line to
yes.
call a hike, but Spaz got the challenge flag out. He threw it on the field. They looked at it. That was a great challenge by Spaz, and the call is overturned, and they go back for the sack. Second down, Izzy throws deep to Rel, who has a step on Shy and catches at the 3-yard line, and Shy gets tagged from flag for tackle.
I'm laughing.
Wait, we're gonna
Go ahead.
Next play, Izzy with a little toss to Rel in front of the end zone for the touchdown. Hood gets the extra point, 7-0.
And I'm laughing here. I can't help myself but LOL right here because they challenged the Street Fam challenges the last play that they were on the 3-yard line. They get the sack, but then the very next play they throw deep to Raw and they end up in the same spot that they would have been if they didn't challenge it. So I'm like, what difference does it make? They've blown the coverage here twice in a row and they end up in the same spot as they were last time. That is ineffective defense and is why they were able to score in this drive.
And this is what's great about Izzy. Shaw's a great defensive back. He's not a lockdown safety. He's great at jumping routes, but he's not a lockdown safety. He can't guard Rel one-on-one. Rel beats him, has a step on him, and makes a great catch. And the frustrating play by Shaw getting beat, he tackles him. Rel does not retaliate, which was smart by Rel.
Yes.
And they're able to score. This kills your momentum right away because you just made Street Fam waste the challenge.
Yes.
That is a great play by Rel to go downfield on the very next play, and that is a great play by them. I love that play. Smart play by Rel. Second down, Spaz throws deep to shot, off target, incomplete. Third down, Spaz throws a Los in the middle, who runs for a decent gain. Last down, Spaz throws a Preacher in the middle for a first down. Preacher reaches for the ball, incomplete, turnover on down. Preacher believes there was contact early. What you think?
I don't think there was contact at all. It looked like he was running for the ball and he reached out for it. The ball was a little ahead of him. He reaches out and he ends up losing his balance. That's an incomplete pass. He believes that Rel made the contact as he was running for the ball. But if you look here, Rel does not reach out. He does not push him. He does not use his hands at all. All you see is Preacher lose his balance, and that is a great no call by the ref.
And I love the fact that we record the games because you get to show up the players blasphemy.
Yeah.
He complained for a flag because he made the mistake and he was basically looking for a bailout call and didn't get it. He complained, oh, the refs always do this, blah, 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 blah. And you could see technically he was lying. I'm going to call a spade a spade. Mm-hmm. He tried to call out the refs for a flag and the refs made no call because there was no call and it's on film. So once again, I'm defending the refs and I'm tired of refs getting blamed for stuff that they do not do. Great no call by the referee. Second down, Izzy throws a hood in the gap for a nice gain. Izzy's blitzed by Prodigy, who gets blocked by B-Dot. Izzy throws to Victor, who cuts inside and runs in for the touchdown. 13-0, Rep City takes the lead, and this is what I'm talking about. Prodigy is not a blitzer. That's not what he does. You try to blitz him against B-Dot,
yes,
a former UFL all-star blocker.
And one of the best blockers in the game.
And what happens? Nothing.
Exactly.
Great block, gives Izzy more time, and he finds another MVP candidate, Victor, for the touchdown.
And that is effective offense. Rep City is playing their hearts out right now. They're doing everything right on both sides of the ball. They're keeping the momentum shift in their favor. And their offense, Izzy is firing at all cylinders and is very accurate, throwing service receivers, getting pretty much everybody into the game. Those are impressive 2 drives.
First down, Spaz is blitzed by Hood, throws deep to Shaw, wide open in the gap. That's Trop. After getting the first down, Spaz with 2 short passes for a decent gain. Spaz then throws it Izzy in the gap. It's high and incomplete. Last down, Spaz throws it up, incomplete, turnover on downs. They're not moving the ball. That was a huge drop by Shaw. We've seen Shaw drop passes like this. He dropped a pass like that against Carver a few years back when they kind of had Carver on the ropes as they kept attacking him. But that's a big mistake by Shaw. And the former MVP, who can be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate this year, did not show us anything really offensively this year.
And again, it's drops like that hurts Spaz's confidence. He's one person that plays off of his team's play, and when you drop passes like that, that's when Spaz becomes less accurate. He starts risking plays, and he starts fighting with his team, and that is a formula for disaster. If you keep going this way, that is enough. That's how many times we're gonna say it? Those are drops you can't afford.
Third down, after 2 drop passes, Izzy gets blitzed by Izzy. So Izzy from Street Fam blitzes Izzy from Rep City. That's funny. Who's blocked by B-Dot. Izzy throws to Rel in the gap. Rel with a nice catch and a big game picking up the first down. B-Dot is on a mission this year.
Yes.
The guy's been blocking, and once again, this time they send a bigger blitzer in Izzy, and B-Dot shuts him down. Basically, holds the gates and gives Izzy time to make a big play. Great throw by Izzy.
And at the end of the day, you know, being a blocker there, you know, winning the award for blocker of the year and all of that stuff is important for B-Dot, but he's playing in the playoffs to get them the championship. And I think that at this point, that's more important. And it looks like he's settled for that now. And that's exactly what he's doing because nobody's getting in and putting any pressure on Izzy.
Second down, Izzy throws a rail in the middle for a nice gain. Third down, Izzy on 4 rush is sacked by Malo. Last down, Izzy throws it up before half, picked off by Shaw, taking into the half, 13-0. If I'm Rep City, I want to keep the moves going. I want to keep bringing pressure to these guys. We didn't score on this drive, but we was basically going against the clock. We was trying to rush something, but we scored 2 out of our 3 possessions.
Yes.
I'll take that going into half.
Yes.
This last possession, we're just trying to make something happen. But I take that. We got our foot on their throat. We got to keep applying pressure, and we can put this team away.
And Street Fam got to be worried right now. They're not getting anything done. Right now, their offense is what's killing them in this game. Their defense can hold up but so much because Rep City is firing at all cylinders. The only thing you can do to compete in this game is to score points. And that's something that they're not doing right now. And if they don't in the second half, it's all she wrote and they'll be going home in this round of the playoffs.
Izzy gets the ball back. So on second down, he throws to Cello, who pitches it back to Izzy for a decent gain. Third down, Izzy throws to Victor in the middle for a nice gain, taking him to the 10-yard line. Last down, Izzy finds Rel in the front of the end zone for the touchdown, putting them up 19-0. Now it's turning into a laugher.
And Rel has been one of their bigger players this season.
Now he's playing like a superstar.
Yes.
He's always been a star. Now he's playing like a superstar.
And he's playing like a person on offense that you need to respect and watch out for. So I'm pretty sure a lot of other teams are watching Rep City's games, and he's one person that they're going to watch out for because he is playing on a higher level than he's ever played in this league so far.
Spaz on 4 rush and blocking from Los throws a Prodigy, cutting in the gap for a nice gain. Second down, Spaz throws a screen to Shaw, but you can't get nowhere. Last down, Spaz throws a Prodigy wide open in the middle of the end zone for the touchdown. 19-6. They're trying to get back in the game, and Prodigy has been their only offensive weapon this game. He's the only one that's here to play. He's the only one that's trying to help Spaz out, and he able to score a touchdown.
And he's making it to the All-Star game for a reason this year because he's been playing on a regular level all season. He's been their main go-to guy, one of their main go-to guys, especially on offense. He's been making Spaz's job a little bit easier by having a go-to guy that's definitely there for him, and he shows it here with this touchdown play here.
Hood with a nice kick return gets him all the way to the 40-yard line. Second down, Izzy throws to Vic in the middle of the end zone. Vic with a great one-handed catch for the touchdown. Henry gets the extra point, 26-6. Rep City got the commanding lead right now.
And we've seen him make a play like this before. And I believe it was week 9
right,
that he made this play here. And he shows that it was not a fluke. This is a great one-handed grab by Vic. And he's shown, and you heard his sideline screaming MVP, MVP, MVP. Because he's been playing MVP type football this season, especially on offense. He's emerged as a big weapon for this Rep City team. And he doesn't look like he's slowing down in the playoffs.
Second down, Spaz is blitzed by Meach, throws a Preacher in the gap, tipped by Preacher, picked off by Hood, ending the game. Rep City with the win, 26-6, blowout win over Street Fam.
And again, how many times am I going to say that they did everything right in this game?
Yep.
They put up points when they had the opportunity to. They locked down on defense and minimized the points scored by the opposition. This was I wouldn't say a statement game, but this is a game where they're showing that they're here and they're ready to march through whatever obstacle that's put in front of them. If they're able to play this type of football, I see them going as far as this play takes them, maybe even to the Final Four if they keep this play going.
And all you heard Izzy saying was blame Jay for this, blame Stephen J for this, blame Stephen J, because I gave Street Fam the chance to win.
Yeah.
Spaz was confident that he can beat this team. Obviously, they tied last game of the regular season, so he felt good coming in. This was not the same Rep City team he played.
And I'm going to say why. One thing that Izzy chimed on in that game that they tied was 2 of the plays were plays that were pretty much toss-ups, he said. He believes that these were plays that they pretty much had luck on their side,
right.
Especially one of them that was tipped a couple times. Those are the ways that they score. And he said if you win a game like that, then there's nothing else you can do because you did your job. But at the end of the day, if that's the only way they can score, you can't possibly think that they're going to come out and emerge as a team that's going to win. If that's all they were able to do, that's pretty much what Izzy was saying. And it shows in the way the game ended. They were able to dominate throughout the game. They kept Street Fam from getting anything done. No lucky plays this time, and that is why the game ended with the score it did.
Well, we're gonna go to the R&R, and Shy got hurt this game. He came back in the game. Spaz been dealing with an injured foot, and this team needs to find and go to the Aflac insurance duck.
Yes.
And get some Aflac insurance because
Yes.
this team been dealing with injuries all year. Trey got hurt, Spaz got hurt, Shaw got hurt, Preacher was hurt.
Yes.
They got hurt. They got banged up. You know what I mean? And that's what killed them this team. Would they have given Rep City a better job had they not had to play a wild card game? I believe so.
Yeah.
But that wild card game took a lot out of them. They beat Browns by a touchdown.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So they wasn't like they were dominant. And one of those was because Prodigy had a pick six. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the injuries killed them this year. And I think they need to find that Aflac duck and get some insurance because this team was banged up all year.
And I'm going to say this, you know, humor aside, yes, you know, we're having a little fun with the situation. But listen, Aflac is a serious thing, man.
Yeah.
Go out and get it. All y'all guys that's watching, go out and get some
Aflac
insurance. Yes. And it helps because when you banged up and beaten like Street Fam is, they have something to fall back to. They could get some money coming back in or whatever, make sure that they're taken care of. Because especially now that they're in the off season, they could go and, you know, resuscitate themselves
get that
and get some
duck.
money in the side. Listen.
The Aflac duck is, he's official.
Listen, I'm not even joking
Aflac.
here. Get Aflac. It's
Aflac.
a big deal.
Aflac. That's that duck, man. Because listen, they got beat up all year.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So definitely that duck is let's put the duck in the Street Fam jersey. You know what I mean? Maybe he's there when they got banged up. He can give them some money right away. So Rep City moves on to the next round, and we all know now Rep City's gonna face Riot Squad the next round. And that's gonna be great. Their only loss in the regular season this season. So we're gonna have to see what happens. But that's going to be a good game. We're going to wrap this one up. Rep City with the win over Street Fam, 26-6. We'll be right back. Road Tough Talk. Next game up, Carver Mobb versus CMM. CMM stands for Christ Mighty Men. And this team started out in the beginning looking like they was going to, make some noise.
Yes.
But they lost arguably one of their best player on the team.
Yeah.
And a guy who could have been up there almost guaranteed for Defensive Player of the Year.
Yes.
A guy who could have been up there for MVP.
Yes.
Arberly played with Maniacs last year. Also could have been a most improved player.
Yes.
But because of the fact
all
that
of these things
he wasn't
was
here because he had to go
and
back
I'm
to
gonna
school.
tell you, you had 6 interceptions and 4 touchdowns. Pretty much without him, they pretty much don't score.
Right.
And he was one of their main guys on defense, putting them back on the field. So it didn't matter what team he played against. He played against some top teams.
We seen him with a great on Lou from Violet.
He picked them off twice, actually. Potentially 3 times. There was a flag on one of those plays. So that was 3 interceptions he possibly could have had in that game, but he definitely had 2. And getting an interception on a quarterback like Lou is nothing to shake your head at. So, he did that pretty much throughout the season. He has been the light in the darkness for this team. And since he's left, this team hasn't been the same.
And Carver Mobb is here. They trying to, this is a game before their championship game at City Island. So they trying to get in and get out, trying to get nobody hurt, and they don't want to say that they are sleeping on CMM, but they beat them kind of easily during the season, and they kind of happy that they faced them instead of facing a main event team who's a little bit stronger than the CMM team.
And the thing about it is with CMM, they know that the CMM is shorthanded. They barely have the staff to keep up with Carver Mobb's squad. They always, one thing you could say about Carver Mobb, they always have reserves ready to take over the slack. And because of that, they have the potential to outplay CMM just by staff alone. Somebody gets tired, they can switch them out just like that.
Right.
CMM doesn't have that option, and that's the advantage that Carver has and why they're taking the game the way that they're playing this game the way that they are.
We'll jump into the game. Jesus with 2 short passes for a decent gain. After getting the first, Jesus on 4 rush tries to run, but is tagged by Mijo for a short gain. 3rd down, Jesus throws deep to Hansel in the end zone, knocked away by Angel. CMM have to punt. And I think the key to that drive was Mijo running down Jesus. Jesus is a running quarterback.
Yes.
He has a lot of speed. He's one of the best runners in this league. But Mijo is a top giver, and he's able to chase down any quarterback, and he's able to chase him down to stop that big run, forcing him to have to punt, giving up the ball.
And because Mijo is a tall ball giver who's not short on speed,
right,
he's one person that can keep up with a lot of quarterbacks.
His length.
And he has the arm length to reach out and get him, regardless if he's fast or not. So that's the advantage.
Because he doesn't have happy feet speed.
No, he doesn't have, like I said,
and
he
quickness.
has some speed.
He don't have happy
but he doesn't
quickness.
have happy feet quickness. So again, because he has the wingspan to make up for it, that's what keeps him in the position to make sacks and get in the quarterback's eyes.
Joey gets the start. Joey throws a side in the middle for a decent gain. Third down, Joey gets blitzed by Roman and throws to Joe Blow in the middle for a big gain in the first down. Second down, Chuck throws a cable in the middle of the end zone. That's dropped. Last down, at the 5-yard line, Chuck on 4 rush throws a side in the back of the end zone. Higher, incomplete, turnover on down. That is a great stand by CMM. Joey started the drive. Chuck came in, but I don't care what it is. They made the stop. That is positive note for them.
Again, they show some light in this game right here. Even though they missing a guy and they haven't been playing the greatest in the last couple games, they still show the effort to make something happen. They come together and they play defense and they catch Carver Mobb sleeping on this drive and they end up causing a turnover.
Jesus with 3 short passes for a decent game, but gets no further. They have to punt. Chuck gets the ball back. He's blitzed by Roman, who's blocked by Happy. Chuck throws deep to Sal, opening the silent for a huge gain, picking up the first down. Chuck then found Sal on the next play in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. Roman gets a sack for the extra point, but it's 6-0. Carver Mobb takes the lead.
And besides Butter, Sal has been one of the guys that they've been going to this season. He has emerged as a big playmaker for this Carver Mobb team this season. So you got to watch out for him. He's a lengthy receiver. He has speed. So he's a person that can break through a lot of defensive coverages. He's been doing it all season, and there's no difference here in the playoffs. He's able to put up their first points.
Jesus on second down runs for a 4 rush for a decent gain. Third down, Jesus gets blitzed by Danny and sacked by Mijo. CMM have to punt. Now Carver is doing what they do with different schemes, different blitz packages. Danny with the pressure, but Mijo gets the sack, and this team is in trouble now because now they're starting to get on cylinders. But if you look on this play during the punt, Angel kind of shakes himself and falls hard. And if you hear the lady saying,
he needs some milk.
He needs some milk because he basically shook himself.
Yes, and if you see here at the end of the play, you see Joe Blow tapping him on the head saying, okay, son, it's going to be all right. Like, everything is cool because he tries to make something happen. The only thing is he broke himself on that play. That
and he definitely
needs some milk.
He does need some milk.
I think he'll be all right, though.
After getting the ball, Carver races against the clock, drives all the way to the 3-yard line in 4 plays. Then Chuck finds Sal again in the end zone for the touchdown. Alvaro gets a 2-point conversion, 14-0, taking us into the half.
And I don't think that CMM has anybody that can stay with Sal at this point. Again, their only option on defense, one of their main options on defense is not in this game.
Yep.
So Carver Mobb is pretty much having a field day right now, and Sal is putting up some impressive numbers on a team that can't necessarily stop him.
Halftime. If I'm CMM, we need to find a way to teleport Arberly here. Without Arberly, we have no shot. He's our best player. He's our best two-way player, and we need him because right now we don't have anybody else that's been able to step up this season in order to give us some help. And now we're playing the 3-time champs, and they're coming at us with one player. We didn't even add a Joe Blow or a Cable Guy or a Wes or Angel. None of those guys. It's Sal killing us, and we're in trouble.
Now, on Carver's side, they're doing what they got to do. You know, obviously they're not having all of their main playmakers out here in this game, but the guys that they're here with, they're effective. Sal right now is leading the charge on offense, and I think that is the reason why they've been looking as good as they have. Sal's been doing it all season, and Chuck is not going to slow down, get him in the ball, and that's why they have the lead right now.
Second half, Chuck throws deep to Dre, cutting in the gap for a big gain, picking up the first down. Second down, Chuck throws to Dre in the corner, tipped and caught by Dre, but referee says both feet are not in. Carver challenged the call, but the play stands. What do you think?
And I think that this was a close play, but I think the refs got it right. If you look here, Dre tips the ball. You know, the pass is a little high. He tips it, and as he goes to catch the ball, if you look, it's about if he has possession before his feet is in bounds. You look at the possession, then you look at his feet. If you look by the time he gets the possession, one of his feet is already about to step out.
Right.
So by the time he gets possession of the ball, he's already about to step out. So the refs made the great call here. It was very close. but it was a split second late. If he got the ball a little bit earlier, I think this would have been a touchdown.
And that's a good challenge.
Yes.
But they lost it. Good call by the refs. But what happens? Last down, Chuck found Sal in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. James get the extra point. 21-zip, Sal's third touchdown of the game.
And the guys was laughing at the challenge. They weren't really, upset about it, anything like that. They had the confidence to know that they were going to score anyway. They kind of used this to make fun of Dre a little bit because he didn't get the touchdown. So these guys are out here, they're having fun. They're taking advantage of CMM's shortcomings, and that's why they have the lead. Sal is pretty much unstoppable in this game. The way CMM hasn't been able to play against him so far, and it looks like a laugher right there because there's nothing that CMM could do at this point.
After a short pass, Jesus on 4 rush gets sacked by Mijo. Third down, Jesus throws deep to Jonathan in the middle, passes short, picked off by Angel, giving it back to Carver. And once again, Mijo stopping Jesus' running game. He is a running quarterback. He is like a Mariota from the Titans. He can run, but once you got a giver that can shut down his running game, his option is running first.
Yes.
You shut that down, you make him into a passer, and then he starts making mistakes, which you see him doing here. Drew comes in to throw. Drew throws to Khalito, cutting on the sideline for a decent game, picking up the first. Then Drew throws deep to Danny in the gap. Danny makes the catch, passes Jonathan, runs into the end zone for the touchdown. Carver comes away to win 28-0.
And they pretty much dominated this game. They did everything that they could possibly do and more, and CMM was not able to answer at all. Jesus is not a person that can take over a game and win a game with his arm alone. I don't think that he's that type of quarterback. He needs playmakers to play around
and
him.
he needs to be able to run the ball
Yes.
because he gets more confidence.
Yes.
When you shut down, Carver made him one-dimensional, and they made him a passer. He wants to run first, pass second. They made him pass first, and they dominated him because that's not what he does.
And one thing I gotta put on them is nobody really stepped up and gave Jesus an easier time out there.
Yep.
Nobody emerged as a playmaker in this game as much as they needed them to. And I got to call out Jonathan. I got to call out Greg. I got to call out Hansel because he was even a playmaker sometime in this game. And I mentioned a guy named Elvin on this team. I have to say a guy, like I don't know them because they don't show up consistently.
Yep.
So that you don't give them this team doesn't give anybody a chance to get to know who they are because they don't emerge in these games as a threat to pay attention to. And I think that is the reasons why they struggle throughout the season, and it's why they're going home right now.
And listen, one thing I give to CMM, they play anybody.
Yes.
They fight, but they just didn't have the talent in order to beat Carver.
And
so
the
if you don't got the talent,
consistency, yes.
if you don't have the talent, you got to be consistent. You got to take opportunities when they're given to you. And they had a few opportunities, they just didn't take advantage of them, and that's what hurt this team this game. And they're the 3-time defending champs.
Yeah, so
you got to
obviously
know
you didn't have an easy time out there.
You could have switched with a better record and played Violators instead of having to play Carver. Main Event had a better record than them, which hurt them towards the end of the season.
But I'm going to say this. I don't think that them playing the Violators would have gave a different result because Violators are a different team. They are a physical team.
No.
And
What I'm trying to say is you got to hope the inexperience of Lou in this league.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
gives you a better
Yes.
idea.
Yes.
Obviously, Violators were a part of that MVR team that won the championship.
Yes.
So they know how to play this game.
But again,
because of Lou's inexperience in the playoff run in this league, it's different. It gives you a little better opportunity than playing the 3-time defending champs in the first round.
But then again, when you mention the Violators, the last time they played the Violators, the only reason why anything was done because Arbolu was on the field.
Absolutely.
So with him not here, I don't see nobody else stepping up and emerging no matter what team they play against. So I think that this would have been the road they would have went regardless because, again, nobody emerged as a person that takes the helm.
And speaking of that, we're going to go to CMM's R&R. And what they need after this season, you can see them all going to the airport. They go on the board a flight. And, we're there. You see us. They let us tag along. Mm-hmm. They're on the flight watching a movie. The movie looked like highlights of, if you look at his highlights of Arberly on it. And now they're there basically begging Arberly to come back. That's what they got to do. They got to get their superstar back because without him, this team has fallen off the map. And as you can see now, they're begging Arberly, trying to talk Arberly into coming back and playing with them and leaving school to play with them because they need them. And that's their off-season thing.
And the thing about it is, Carver Mobb was one team that Arberly didn't have a chance to play against.
Yep.
So who knows how well he would have did against Carver, or how much Carver would have exploited him. Like, who knows what would have happened. The point is, we'll never know because Arberly wasn't here when they needed him to. Obviously, he had more important things to do. You know, I was told that he went away for school.
Right.
Obviously, school is more important.
Absolutely.
We're not going to kill you for not being there for your team when it comes to school and everything like that. Trust me, I know.
No, you should have did. He should have dropped out of school and helped your guys. You commitment. It's called commitment. All right?
Okay, you're no good.
Could have worked in Bloomingdale's or something.
Obviously, he's not serious, just like he's not serious about the Members Mark sponsorship. So don't take him seriously. But at the end of the day, you know, I hope they enjoyed their first season in the UFL.
Yeah, they had a good time.
You know, they had a good time. You know, they had some exciting games, some close games. They had some not so close games. But it is their first season, and hopefully they learn to improve on what they have and just step up a little bit more. Certain guys have the talent. They just haven't shown it. And we used to say the same thing about Arberly. He had the talent. He didn't show it. And now he showed it. It's up to somebody else on their team to show that next season.
You're right. And we're going to shut this one down. Carver with the commanding win. They beat CMM 28-zip. And we're going to move on to our next game. We'll be right back. Real Tough Talk. Next game up, an interesting one. Slaughterhouse versus Super Friends. Slaughterhouse beat Super Friends this season. You had Marcus who picked off Dion twice.
Yes.
And they lost that game.
Yeah.
And it was on back-to-back drives.
Yes.
So, I mean, Slaughterhouse would beat Super Friends that game. And that game, Dion was questioned if he's the guy for this team. Now, don't get me wrong. What a lot of people don't know is Dion has a championship in UFL with the Punishers when we was in Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely a championship quarterback. But that was a long time ago. The league has dramatically changed since then.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Slaughterhouse, once again, they struggle with personnel. They really don't have enough guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they don't have their main guys, Juice and stuff like that. Mo, the guys that's known as playing Slaughterhouse ball, have not been here this year.
And I think that one thing is fair to say is they do miss Ramsey, who's playing with Riot Squad this season. I think that this team was a completely different team last year. They were a team to take seriously.
And not saying that Marcus is bad.
No.
But Marcus could play different positions. So basically with that is why you say the team is not the same as last year.
Yeah, and I believe it's because Marcus was able to do like you said, he was able to take other responsibilities in different positions and not have to take over the team as the quarterback. And, you know, less responsibility. And Ramsey's one person that, regardless of how he throws, he knows how to put up points. So this team was a dangerous team to play last year, and they don't seem the same this year because not a lot of guys are showing up and being consistent with attendance in this game, and I think that's what hurt them this season.
Well, we're going to jump right into the game. After two short plays, Marcus on 4 rush throws deep to Pablo on the sideline. Pablo makes a catch on the sideline for a big gain at the 50-yard line. After getting the first down, Slaughterhouse can't get no further. They have to punt. Next, Super Friends get the ball. Dion with 2 short passes to Mace on the sideline for a nice gain, getting him to the 50-yard line. Third down, Dion is blitzed by Cabby, who was blocked by Golo. Dion throws deep to Prince Mo, wide open, who runs it in for the touchdown. 6-0. Super Friends score on a first possession.
Now you're hearing Prince Mo's name being mentioned more and more. He's starting to look like the old, offensive player of the year type person that we remember last season. He's getting open. Nobody's able to follow him, and this is no different here. Dion's able to connect with him, and that's a great block by Golo, giving him some extra seconds to throw the ball.
First down, Marcus is blitzed by Pratt and sacked by AB. Next down, Marcus throws to Los on the sideline for a short gain, but can't gain any further, forced to punt. Pratt is a great blitzer. He's strong, he brings a lot of intensity, and AB is able to adjust with his blitz and get the sack. That 1-2 punch is dangerous, and they kind of stop that drive based on that one play.
One thing I could say is AB had 9. Yes, I believe he had 9 sacks this season.
Right.
So that's nothing to sneeze at. He's one person that's able to pressure the quarterback and go in and get sacks. And Pratt is a big body coming in that's hard to block. And he's
a former All-Star last year.
Yes, and he could come at any part of the field coming in. That's a person that's a scary sight to see coming in as a quarterback. And a lot of times plays results in this.
Why is it a scary sight? Because he has long hair?
No, because it's a big guy coming rushing at you.
With long hair.
Well, the
Remember, they call him
out.
Pratamalu.
Yes,
so he
yes.
was like Palomalu. So
Yes.
the long hair, we got to find out if he used the same fabric softener that Palomalu used.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But that's scary seeing this big
Yeah,
guy
of course.
with long locks coming at you. You know what I mean? He's coming in for a reason, and that's a great play by him. After a short pass to Prince Mo, Dion throws deep to Mason on the sideline with a big gain and picking up the first down. Dion throws to Show in the middle for a nice gain at the 3-yard line. Then Dion finds Prince Mo in the corner of the end zone for the touchdown. Mace gets the 2-point conversion, 14-0, Super Friends.
And the best, one of the best, pretty much the best offense in the league right here. They have so many different options for Dion to play with that it's hard for a team like Slaughterhouse, who's lacking in personnel, to keep up with, and that's showing in this game. There's but so much that they can do when Super Friends can spread out the ball the way that they do on offense.
Third down, after 2 short plays, Marcus is blitzed by Alex and throws to receiver in the middle. It's tipped by AB, but still caught at the 50-yard line. Last down, Marcus throws a cabbie on the sideline, dropped and picked off by Alex, giving the ball back to Super Friends. And that's Alex making a play defensively. We know him make offensive plays, but he's a guy that can go on the defense, especially now that Kenny's hurt. And I think Kenny's pretty much done for the year. That's a great play by Alex, showing his value both sides of the ball.
And another thing I got to mention, yes, Alex was able to get the interception, but what led to that interception is Caddy dropping this pass here. This is something that he's been doing all season. This has been killing Market because this one problem that this team had, regardless of the attendance or what, the guys that's here do not catch the ball consistently, and there's another player here that leads to interception.
Dion throws to Alex cutting the gap for a nice gain. After getting the first down, Dion throws to Show on the sideline. Show falls to the ground but still makes the catch for a nice gain at the red zone. Dion throws in the front of the end zone, dropped by Show, and Show's flag for cursing. After the penalty, Super Friends can't reach the end zone, turnover on downs, taking it into the half, 14-0.
And Slaughterhouse got a lucky break there because Super Friends was not able to keep it together on that last drive, and that curse kind of sets them back, and it gives them an opportunity to fix what mistakes they made in the first half. They need to come out firing. They need to score. That's one thing that they desperately need. If Super Friends was able to score on that drive, I think this game probably would have been over at that point. But they have an opportunity. They just need to strike early in the second half, and maybe they have an inkling of a chance.
Super Friends got to keep the guns blazing. Keep shooting. Basically, that's all you got to do. You got a team that's down. They feeling like they can't beat us. So we got to keep attacking. Keep attacking, keep attacking. Prince Mo has been the go-to guy, and that's one thing about Super Friends. You know, they have so many weapons. It's hard to shut them down. Now that Prince Mo's getting back into the fold, I'm feeling confident about that. After two incomplete passes, Dion throws a Show in the gap, knocked away by Manny. Last down, Dion throws to Alex in the gap for a decent gain, picking up the first. After 2 plays for a decent gain, Dion with a screen pass to Prince Mo. With great blocker from B-Roy and Golo, Prince Mo runs in there for the touchdown. 20-0, now they're taking over the commanding lead.
And this is an impressive play right here as they throw a screen. You have Golo and B-Roy block and create a hole for Prince Mo to run right through.
2 of your best blockers.
Yes, 2 of your best blockers on this team, making a hole for Prince Mo to just throw right through it for another touchdown. And pretty much at this point, because their offense is so efficient, we have a laugh on our hands.
Next play, Pablo drops the kickoff, bad field position. Slaughterhouse struggles to move the ball, they're forced to punt. Dion gets the ball back. He throws deep to a wide open Chris on the middle, but that one is dropped. After getting the first down, Super Friends can't get no closer, they're forced to punt. Second down, Marcus throws the man on the sideline for a big gain. Third down, Marcus throws the man again on the sideline, cuts in the middle, runs for the huge gain, picking up the first down. Second down, Marcus is blitzed and sacked by Pratt. Pratt once again showing his impact, making a sack on this play. Last down, Marcus on 4 rush, just gets by AB, throws a caddy in the back of the end zone. That one is dropped. End of the game. Super Friends with the win, 20-0.
And the 2 opportunities that they had to drive and score, Caddy drops it. You know, they were driving in the first half. Caddy drops on the sideline. Wide open pass directly to him, drop. That hurts morale. Touchdown pass. You're out of pretty much already fighting just to score 6 points. You get a pass accurately thrown to you right here in the end zone, and you drop it. That pretty much sums up Slaughterhouse's whole game and their whole season. Looking through it, this season has been a bust for them, all because they didn't play at the caliber they need to, and because the personnel was not permitted to playing with this team. and that is why the season ends the way it does.
Well, Slaughterhouse beat one over Wildcats. Wildcats forfeited. They wasn't ready to play Super Friends.
No.
They didn't have enough firepower. They didn't have enough people, and they 2 drops on 2 interceptions killed this team. 20-0 is not a huge score, but the game was not as close as the score would indicate. Slaughterhouse beat them already during the season. Same team. Super Friends have the same team they had. I don't believe Alex was there at that time.
That's the one person that wasn't there.
And that's a big change of hand by having Alex and getting rid of Red. But at the end of the day, they just couldn't stay with them.
No.
It was too much firepower, and you got to take your hat off because I think Marcus threw decent this year. Him and Welch made the All-Star team.
Yeah.
But it's just too much firepower. They just couldn't keep up. And for their R&R, they need to their R&R, they need to put up a want ad. They're hiring for players.
Yes.
They need to hire players. This team is too short. They never have enough guys. If you see here, you got Marcus doing interviews. You know what I mean? And I'm there for my interview because I'm going to come back.
Yeah.
I can help this team. You don't think I can help this team?
No.
I can help them.
No.
But
just keep drinking your members' mark. That's about
they
it.
need to they have a help wanted ad. They're trying to bring in more players. You see several of the Slaughterhouse guys, some of them are no shows to even the interviews.
Yeah.
Because these guys don't show up.
Yeah.
And it's a shame because if they had their whole squad, I think they could give a lot of teams a better run for their money. But unfortunately, because they're short-handed, they don't have that, and they're going to have the help wanted ads because this team needs help.
And if I'm right, even coming into the season, it was pretty much shaky. It wasn't necessarily definite about them coming in the season. And that is why a couple of their players end up leaving and going to Riot Squad.
Mm-hmm.
I think that if they would have showed up on time for these type of drives, for this hiring or whatever, if they would have showed up, I think that they probably would have been a different team. They probably would have Ramsey signing those applications, and he probably would have been working with them.
Right.
They probably would have King and Amir with them or whatever. This would probably be a different season. But because they weren't on the ball with their applications, they weren't giving them out the way they were supposed to,
Right.
these guys end up going and taking an application with another job, and that's why they're moving forward and they're going home.
Super Friends with the win. They're going to get them getters in the next round. Them getters win over High Rollers on a forfeit. So that's going to be a great matchup to see. We'll talk about that when we play the game next week, but that's what's coming on next. So we're going to take our next break. Super Friends with the win over Slaughterhouse 20-0. We're going to take our next break. We'll be right back. Real Tough Talk.